The Mayans did not believe the world was stable. They believed the sky could collapse. They believed the sun could fail. They believed the gods could simply stop caring. And when that happened, everything would end. To the Maya, reality itself was fragile, constantly at risk of unraveling. The sun only rose because it was fed. The rain only fell because it was appeased. The crops only grew because something precious was taken away. And sometimes that something was a human life. This wasn't cruelty for entertainment. This wasn't madness. It was maintenance. Because according to Mayan belief, the universe was already destroyed before, and human blood was the only thing keeping it alive this time.
The Mayans believed we are living in the fifth creation. 4 worlds existed before this one, and every single one of them was destroyed. One was drowned. One was torn apart by wind. One burned. One collapsed into darkness. The gods had failed before, and they could fail again. In Mayan mythology, the gods bled to create humanity. They shattered themselves, sacrificed their own divine essence, and mixed it with maize to shape humans. So humans were not separate from the gods. They were made from sacrifice. And that meant one terrifying truth. If the gods sacrificed themselves for humans, humans were expected to return the favor. Blood was not symbolic. Blood was currency. Without it, the universe would simply stop working. The gods did not speak human language. They spoke pain, offering, and blood. To the Maya, blood was sacred energy, a physical substance that carried life force directly to the divine realm. This is why even kings and queens performed bloodletting rituals. They pierced their tongues. They pierced their genitals. They dragged thorned ropes through flesh while burning incense. Royal blood was powerful, but it wasn't always enough. When droughts came, when eclipses darkened the sky, when crops failed or disease spread, the gods demanded more. Human sacrifice was the loudest prayer possible, a message written in screams, heartbeats, and flowing blood. Contrary to popular belief, the Mayans did not sacrifice randomly. Every victim mattered. Prisoners of war were especially valuable because they carried the spiritual power of defeated enemies. Children were sacrificed to rain gods like Chak because their tears were believed to summon storms. Elite captives were dressed as gods themselves, paraded through cities, worshipped temporarily, and then killed. Their death wasn't punishment, it was transformation. At the moment of sacrifice, they were no longer human, they became messengers. The most infamous ritual involved the heart. A victim was laid atop a stone altar. The chest opened with obsidian blades sharper than steel, the heart removed while still beating. That heartbeat mattered because the gods needed living energy, not death. Sometimes heads were taken instead. Decapitation symbolized the maize god's rebirth, mirroring how crops are cut to grow again. Other victims were thrown into sacred cenotes, natural sinkholes believed to be entrances to Xibalba, the Mayan underworld. Sacrifice wasn't just about death, it was about movement, sending life from the human world into the divine machinery that kept time, rain, and the sun running. And here's the darkest part. Even after all the blood, the world still collapsed. Cities were abandoned, rain stopped falling, political systems failed. The gods did not save them. Which raises a disturbing question. What if sacrifice never worked? Or worse, what if the gods were never listening? By the time the Spanish arrived, the Mayan world was already fractured. The rituals continued, not because they were effective, but because stopping them felt even more dangerous. When your entire reality is built on fear of cosmic collapse, you don't stop feeding the gods, even when everything is already falling apart. The Mayans didn't sacrifice humans because they were savage. They did it because they believed existence itself demanded payment. Every sunrise was borrowed, every harvest was rented, every breath was temporary. Blood was the rent. And in their world, the most terrifying idea wasn't death. It was a universe where the gods stopped caring enough to take it. Because if the gods no longer demanded blood, it meant the end had already begun. And maybe, just maybe, the Mayans were right about one thing. The world doesn't last forever. It only lasts as long as something is willing to be sacrificed to keep it alive.